But what a character. I mean, we could go back to the Chris Brennan thing. I'd love to talk about that if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, Chris Brennan got mad at me because I said some shit about that stuff.
Well, he'll get over it. You know, I mean, what's he going to do?
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about him.
Chris Brennan is a tough dude. I give him credit for it. He's a good fighter. You know, he's a little bit of a handful. But that time when I sent, we were trying to keep you safe because you had that situation going on with the college thing that you beat up the kid because he broke into your room, and you had a public defender representing you, and his family had some money, and you got. It
was self-defense.
Yeah, right. Self-defense. Anywhere in the world, it would have been self-defense unless you're going against a real attorney against a public defender, which you had. So in the end, we had to keep you hidden to get you to Japan. And he called. Have you talked about this? Oh, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. So Quentin is getting ready to go fight Sakuraba, the Japanese hero in Japan. And this was just after a fight up in Calusa, and he's going to be the main event. His first fight in Japan, he's going to fight Sakuraba, the national hero. So I want to keep him out of the limelight, so I have him stay at Chris Brennan's school. Well, at Chris Brennan's school, he goes, hey, man, I have a weird feeling. I feel like they're trying to hurt me down here. And I'm thinking, why would they be doing that? And I started thinking, well, maybe Chris at 175 pounds thinks he can step up and fight Sakuraba if Quentin's hurt. So I said, hey, stay out of that. Keep going to Gold's Gym or whatever you were going up the street. Keep your weightlifting. Be ready for your fight. So they got over to get ready to get on the plane, and Chris Brennan had like 12 guys from his team coming with him. Chris Brennan's never had 12 guys fly anywhere with him to any fight, even when he fought. Why would he have 12 guys flying when Quentin was fighting? So as he's walking onto the plane, guys jump out with guns and say, on the ground. And they've got Quentin, Boss Rutan, and Mark Kerr. Somebody called anonymously and said that a convicted felon was fleeing the country, and they had him on the floor.
True story. So
they arrested him. Now, I've got my name on it as well. King of the Cage sending their guy over to Japan. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I jumped in and I said, okay, I called one of my sponsors, Z's Bail Bonds. The early days when we had small sponsors,
He bailed me out.
Yeah. I put my house up to bail him out, to send him to Japan. And before he left, he grabbed one of the ladies that was the police lady, because they loved him at the police department. They knew he wasn't bad. Picked him up over the head, took a picture. They put it on the front paper of the Japanese newspaper. Serial killer coming to fight our national hero. He immediately became a superstar. They fucked him good, and they never talked about that, but they fucked him good over in Japan. This was big time with the weight, because he has never fought at less than 205 pounds. The contract was for 205 pounds. They lied. They said he had to make 185 pounds. He's nowhere near 185 pounds. So they weren't going to let him win the fight. But he got down as low as he could. He sat in the sauna. He did what he had to do. They carried him to the weigh-ins, got him weighed in, and he threw Sakuraba around like a rag doll for about 7 or 8 minutes before the cut.
No,
yeah,
cut. I just had
dehydration.
Before the dehydration kicked in and just took it out of him. Yeah. But he would have destroyed Sakuraba at that time. But and he came back, he was a little dejected. He also wouldn't allow him to choke him unconscious, because they had in the contract that they would pay him more if he took the choke all the way to sleep if he lost. And if he didn't tap out and he lost, he was to get more money. So it was really a nasty kind of deal that Pride
you got to slow down on that. You got to repeat that for all the fans watching this, because this is you're giving us groundbreaking information, and I hope that you have security for the next couple of weeks.
No, they're not going to fuck with it.
All right. Let's make sure. Let's make sure. If you need it, you let me know. I got a guy named George. He owns a company. We'll make sure you're good. But explain that again to me.
They had
Who's they?
In the contract, the Pride group at the time.
Okay, so Pride did a contract between Rampage, JAXXON, and Sakuraba.
Right. I don't even know if the head of Pride knew, but Hideki and Yukino had a deal written down on paper, said that he got paid this much if he won.
You're talking about Rampage or Sakuraba?
Rampage. This much if he lost, this much if he won, but there was a money in between if he won and he didn't tap out.
Or if I got knocked out.
Right. If he got knocked out or he got choked unconscious. And as poor as he was at that time, he needed that money. He didn't give them that. He eventually tapped to the choke, and they were pissed.
So if you were to just passed out instead of tapping, you would have got like a double bonus or something?
I would have got a little bit more money.
I want to say he was getting about $12,500. He probably would have got another $2,500 if he didn't tap.
I remember the exact numbers.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth it.
No way. But the fact was,
I was broke at that time.
Yeah.
I was.
Rampage Jackson, can I just tell you something right now without cutting you off? That's why you're the man.
Yes.
Because you're willing to go down for the whole sport. You ain't biting into the nonsense.
No.
You don't deal with the brass.
No, I'm not throwing no fights.
This is why you are a legend.